Hey guys, what's up? It's me, Pigboy25 here, and today I am bringing you the new for Cedar Fair 2018 announcement analysis. I believe 9 of the 11 parks have somewhat announced, or formally or semi-formally, in the case of one, announced their 2018 attractions. We're going to go down here to this map. We're on the Cedar Fair website, cedarfair.com. We have links to all the parks in our hands here. We're going to go alphabetical, just like we did last year, and go through each of the attractions. This year was a bigger year than the last, and there were quite a few interesting and unique attractions introduced here. With that out of the way, let's get it going. California's Great America will be our start, and we're just going to get to the park site. There we go, California's Great America. Now, everyone should know California's Great America announced Railblazer, the RMC Raptor coming to the former spot of Vertigo, the RC boats, and a 3-point challenge area in 2018. Now, from this diagram, it does look like it's running 3 trains. However, it's using a B&M Hyper style layout. Instead of a moving station like Six Flags Fiesta Texas is projected to get, we have one circulating the track, one loading in the station, and one on the brakes. With that out of the way, we're just gonna say, this thing does look amazing, even though it is a clone of Wonder Woman or a mere clone or whatever it is. It's a clone of Wonder Woman. Golden Lasso, with Six Flags Fiesta Texas did pull the dick move and announce it way before they were supposed to, just so they can be the first after they got word of the competition, most likely from RMC. I mean, I'm not sure if this is a good fit for the park, because this park, with the master plan in place, will be a lot more popular since it serves the San Francisco-Oakland area, which is pretty highly populated. So the low capacity would definitely be a burden to this, but the 3-train operation, and the operations are only like a problem now. We'll see how they actually turn out in practice. They might be really quick with them. Like Fury has great operations, but they have also 4 times the size of the train, or 4 times. So let's just hope they're a bit swift with their operations on this one. I think this will be a great ride. I think it'll easily slip its way into the top 3 along with Silver Bullet, or not Silver Bullet, that's not Spray Farm, Flight Deck, and Gold Striker. It'll easily sneak its way into the top 3 with those. Railblazer will be a great addition to the park, though I think they could have done better. But for the footprint of Inverted Garden RC boats and a 3-point challenge, this is a pretty good trade-off. I think this is a good addition to the park. I mean, maybe a Gerstlauer Infinity would have been a better fit, but we'll have one of those later. So leaving from California's Great America, we're going to go back to cedarfair.com, and we're going to move on to Canada's Wonderland. So, yeah, we got this park right now, and I got this one completely correct. We have 2 new attractions for 2017, a thrilling flat ride, Lumberjack. I forget the model of flat ride it is, to be honest, but it's along the lines of, it's like Hammerhead Shark at Six Flags Discovery Kingdom, Meteor at Dorney Park, Aero 360 at Kennywood, and they also got Flying Canoes, which is a family, the canoes go up, they go around a circle, they go up or go down, probably at your choice. It's just another family flat ride. Looks like you can probably seat 12. They probably 12 to 16 people on it. I like how they're expanding. I like the family flat edition, but this is the 3rd year in a row we've gotten a thrilling flat ride. 2016 brought us Skyhawk, 2017 brought us Soaring Timbers, and now 2018 brings us Lumberjack. So I really don't know what to think of this. This was one of the gaps in their flat ride lineup, but at this point, it really doesn't matter about bolstering your flat ride lineup. There's a plot where Skyrider used to sit that is completely open right now, and it's been open since 2015 when the coaster was relocated and sold to Italy. So we're still waiting for a new coaster there, maybe 2019. I hope. We can only hope at this point. Canada's Wonderland really needs a new coaster, and bad. Oh my goodness. Like an RMC T-Rex would be a good fit here. So moving on from Canada's Wonderland, we're going to go on to Carowinds. This is one where we will follow the link on the new page, so we're gonna have to go through 2 links. For Carowinds announced a Planet Snoopy expansion, also being rethemed to Camp Snoopy. If this thing would load. Is it gonna load? Please. So with this Camp Snoopy, they're going to be adding 6 new attractions for spring of 2018 and retheming it to Camp Snoopy. We're going to scroll past this. They have 6 new attractions. They have Woodstock's Whirlybirds, a miniature teacup ride, and teacups are always a nice addition. They're classic amusement rides. Beagle Scout Acres, they got a playground, basically. Essentially a playground with slides, shaded areas, tents, little things to explore, climbable structures, all sorts of things. I don't know a lot of parks that has like one as large as that, but that's a really nice addition. It's gonna be right across from Lucy's Krabby Cabby, and that area was kind of lacking. The whole revamp is just generally welcome. They are relocating their carousel and their flying scooters to another area of the park to accommodate these new attractions. So, like, the carousel, I believe, was right where this plaza is right here. And then they had, like, I forget where their flying scooters were. Like, you'll have Flying Ace Aerial Chase somewhere down here, I think. Or, yeah, I think it's, like, somewhere down here, somewhere up here. No, somewhere down here for sure. Up here is, like, Intimidator. So somewhere down this way, you'll have Flying Ace Aerial Chase. The whole retheme is very welcome to the park. We also have Pigpen's Mud Buggies. We have bouncing cars. I forget what it is. So you go around a circle, the cars are bouncing up and down. You also have Camp Bus, a Zamperla Crazy Bus. Well, this little camp bus is suspended to pivots and moves around in a circle. Most likely going forward, possibly backwards. I'm not sure how they operate, even though I have one in my home park. They got Kite Eating Tree, a very small footprint, and a really solid kiddie attraction that everyone would love. These things are at a lot of parks, and I can see why. You can fit into a very small footprint. It runs quite reliably, and it's always a solid addition to the park. And they have a Peanuts Trailblazer, or Peanuts 500, whatever you want to call it, which is a mini whip. So, and those last 4 attractions are all going in a line around the area by Woodstock Express. So, there we go. So moving on past that, we're going to go to Cedar Point with our second coaster of the year, Steel Vengeance. Oh my lord, just look at this thing. This is a 205-foot tall RMC. I'm going to go back to that so you can stay on it. 205 feet tall, supposed to have the most airtime on any coaster ever, with 27 seconds of 0 G according to projections. Mad airtime, 4 inversions, a 90-degree drop. Like, this thing is just going to be insane. And this is probably the tallest coaster with a wooden support in existence. Like, definitely in America. This is a hybrid coaster. This is ridiculous. Another 200-foot tall coaster going to Cedar Point. This thing is absolutely insane. I am going to Cedar Point in 2018. Like, I would pay extra to go to Cedar Point in 2018. I drive myself without a license to get to Cedar Point there, just to ride this thing over and over again. This thing is going to be amazing. I can easily see this being the best coaster in the park. I can easily see this being probably the best coaster in North America. That could be a bit of a challenge, but easily the best coaster in the park. And probably just a new icon for the back lot of Cedar Point. You don't have to go to the back just to only ride Maverick. You can go to the back to ride Maverick and Steel Vengeance. So there's 2 good coasters in Frontier Town now. And which one will be better is all up to your personal opinion. This thing, it looks amazing, and I cannot wait to ride this come 2018. Steel Vengeance. Learn it, know it. Alright, so next up we are going to have Dorney Park, and this is the park that I said was a semi-formal announcement. They never officially posted it on their particularly their Facebook, considering it's the oldest social media they have, and they have no particular links to a new attraction. And I also say semi-formal because they did not announce any sort of flat ride. They announced the addition of the pre-K pass, which is more or less of a chain-wide movement, with several parks like Carowinds and Cedar Point also putting in a pre-K pass, where children ages 3 through 5 get in the whole season for free with a valid birth certificate. So yeah, that's really interesting. Dorney Park also announced a new restaurant going to Wildwater Kingdom, which I've heard is going to be good from various Dorney Park natives, since their water park is their most popular attraction, and the dry park less so. People are still saying this thing's gonna get GCI for 2019. Like, we can only hope at this point. And King's Dominion, we're gonna move swiftly onward from that. King's Dominion, we all know what they got. We've known what they gotten for over the entire summer now. We have RMC Hurler, now known as Twisted Timbers. This thing is going to be 114 feet tall, feature a 109-foot tall barrel roll drop, 2 other inversions, including an inverted overbank, and another 0G roll, 3 overbank turns, 20 moments of airtime according to the trailers, and eerily similar to Mystic Timbers. I'm not sure what to think about the name. It just seems like they're trying to make King's Dominion and Kings Island just too similar. I get that they're sister parks or brother parks or whatever you want to call them, sibling parks, but you don't have to rip off the other park in order to make yours more relevant. I'm not sure. This is going to be a fun ride, though. I think Steel Vengeance has definitely overshadowed this coaster, but this is still going to be world class. Some people might think this might be the best coaster in the park. Definitely top 3, most likely number 2, or number 1 to some. It's going to be this, Volcano, and I-305 in top. This thing's just going to be amazing. I don't have a whole lot else to say about it, but Twisted Timbers is going to be amazing. I bet you've all seen POVs of Steel Vengeance, Railblazer, and Twisted Timbers. If you haven't, all POVs are located there on various sources. I recommend Coasters Force. I'm pretty sure you've heard of them. They have all the POVs up on their channel. You can also go to the YouTube or social media pages for each of these things for POVs. I'm not sure if Hang Time is a POV yet, which we'll get to that. Actually, I think we're getting to that next. Nope, we have yes, actually we are, because Kings Island is one park, one of the 2 that have yet, Tower Gardens Plaza or whatever it is, has been closed off, walled off. So there is something going on there. But they said in an interview or Instagram live conference that they are announcing their attraction on a later date. So we are going to see a new Kings Island 2018 attraction, but just not for now. We are going to see it a little later. Now we are going to move on to Knott's Berry Farm. This is the 4th and final roller coaster going to Cedar Fair Parks in 2018. We are clicking on it. We have Hang Time. This is a Gertzlauer Infinity Dive Coaster. Right here, this little track here, they have a holding brake. After that, they send you into a beyond vertical drop into a 0G roll, to a vertical loop, to an inverted overbank, to an overbank, to like some sort like a cobra roll or something. This thing just looks like a jumble mess with some pretty unique elements. The white and neon blue or aquamarine blue is a really nice color scheme. I was hoping to see that bright pink B&M go here, because it just would have been hilarious to see a bright pink B&M anywhere in America. I just laugh seeing a giant pink hypercoaster in the skyline at any park. It'd make Great America so much better if you just see a giant pink hypercoaster in the skyline. I'm sorry for laughing at that. Back to Hang Time. We're going to click to learn more, because this is the coaster I am least familiar with out of the 4. This was announced late at night, like 10 p.m. Central Time, because they announced it soon after the park closed. 96-degree drop. with 2,198 feet of track. They do have a light pass. They do have a um, they have a light package with that. So yeah, this is going to be a really good ride. They all sorts of things. 150 feet tall. I believe the inversion count is 5. So this thing is going to be 5 inversions. This thing is going to be quite fun. A lot of people were predicting, including myself, a Gerstlauer Infinity Coaster to go in the former spot of Boomerang and Riptide, all the way up from Accelerator to the Calico Mine Train. There's a clearing there. If you want to see my predictions video, I have a picture from the skyline. Hang Time is going to be a fantastic ride, and I could see it easily. It can definitely is going to be top 5 in the park. I don't know how it's going to rank. It can probably beat out Silver Bullet on a good day. I think Silver Bullet might still win, but it can. I think it'll be top 4 for sure. Definitely top 5. But I do not think this thing will be top 3 in the park with Accelerator, Ghost Rider, and Silver Bullet there. If not, it'll probably be number 3 behind Silver Bullet and Ghost Rider and Accelerator. So yeah, so that's nuts. We're gonna move on to a bunch of smaller attractions. Not Soak City. I have not seen anything come out of there. So I'm not going to say yet. Not So City announced their attraction late. Michigan's Adventure is historically known for announcing their trash can late, or announcing their new park bench late. So we're not going to get to them. They were late last year. They're all going to be late this year. Last year, Canada's Wonderland was also late, and so was King's Dominion. But Canada's Wonderland announced it on time this year, and Kings Island ran late by postponing their date. So things have changed. Now moving on to 2 more parks, we have Valley Fair, also known as Disappointment Fair, or literally Street Side Fair, with their 2018 attraction, which is Delirious, a 7-story Larson Super Loop. We got a Super Loop going to Valley Fair. I'm not sure how I feel about this. I mean, I was hoping that I'd see that Excalibur removal. I'd see that. If you don't know, Delirious is right here. It's just a giant purple circle with a light package along the Route 76. They're moving their Tilt-A-Whirl from over here to right by North Star, and their Tilt-A-Whirl is being moved to the North Star, by North Star and by their flying scooters. So their Tilt-A-Whirl got moved from where Delirious stands to here. So they are keeping their Tilt-A-Whirl. This thing, it's about as basic as it gets. It's just a Super Loop. They have them at 8 Six Flags parks. The nearest Super Loop is like 6-8 hours away at Six Flags St. Louis is the nearest one, since Great America does not have one, which is the next closest one. But this is just, I mean, I was expecting a lot more, but we just get a Super Loop. I mean, maybe they're still working out with the city of Shakopee for that. Also, just looking here, Valley Fair never gets that crowded. Unless someone here lives in Valley Fair, I can affirm that it probably will never get that crowded, especially for a Super Loop. They're just making it look like that. A Super Loop will not get that crowded. But yeah, we get Delirious. They're calling it a family thrill ride as well. They're at least not calling it a coaster like Six Flags. So that's at least a positive. And finally, we have Worlds of Fun, who has quietly announced a new flat ride for 2018. Nordic Cruiser, or whatever it's called. I still haven't gotten the name down, but it is some sort of pirate ship ride, or some sort of a Scandinavian Norse-themed ride. That is a flat ride. It's not a coaster. It is a flat ride. I don't know if it's some people have said it's an identical of Flying Canoes at Canada's Wonderland. Some people say it's going to be similar to it's going to be like a boat ride going around in circles, similar to a Music Express. People have said all sorts of things about this. My computer's being really slow. Worlds of Fun. Let me just give this thing a good old refresh. They're being really quiet about this, or Nordic Chaser. I don't know. This thing's got a weird name. It's replacing some attraction in their Scandinavia part of the park. So, I mean, there's not a whole lot to say about this. Worlds of Fun has yet to release a visual for this ride. So something tells me it might be a rare or original ride. I still don't know how this thing's going to be. I'm looking forward to seeing the animation because Worlds of Fun is going another year with disappointment. I was expecting a Soak City or Oceans of Fun expansion. I also, while this thing's still loading, I want to take the time to point out that they did not use their trademarks that they filed for the Edge and the Ledge. I'm just going to point that out real quick. I think that could have been a perfect name for a pair of water slides. That would have been a perfect name for a pair of water slides. Here it is, Nordic Chaser. We're going to click on the Learn More link. So we're going to click on that. It'll take a little while to load. Nordic Chaser, new for 2018. It's basically just a family ride. It's imagination as he has experienced the sensei of rising and falling along ocean waves. So I think just by reading that, I feel like we might get, this might be a flying canoes clone, but instead of canoes, it's Viking ships. We have yet to see a visual of this. This is the banner they're using for all this. Worlds of Fun is still quite silent on this. I don't even know why they bothered to announce it that day if they would like that. It's like going into a YouTube video if you're a professional YouTuber and you don't have a thumbnail ready. You have the video all done and edited, but you don't have your thumbnail ready. It's exactly what it's like there. It's just kind of ridiculous. But yeah. So, just to recap, we're going to have California's Great America adding in a Wonder Woman Golden Lasso coaster. I keep wanting to call it Lasso of Truth, called Railblazer. Better themed, I think, will be the superior clone. Also has a much better color scheme, I'll say. Canada's Wonderland putting in Lumberjack and Flying Canoes. Carowinds putting in 6 new rides and retheming Planet Snoopy to Camp Snoopy. Cedar Point with Steel Vengeance. Dorney Park with minor changes, most notably a restaurant going into Wildwater Kingdom. King's Dominion with RMC Hurler, Twisted Timbers. King's Island is yet to formally announce something, but they are announcing something at a later date. Knott's with a Gerstlauer Infinity Coaster. Hang Time. Michigan's Adventure will formally announce a bench later in the year. Most likely before October, so we might see it at the end of the month. We might see it September. Who knows? Valley Fair announcing a Larson Super Loop, a standard version named Delirious, and Worlds of Fun announcing most likely a Flying Canoes clone called Nordic Chaser. So that is Cedar Fair's 2018 recap. I think the park was a lot more balanced with their lineup for 2017. They didn't get as many coasters, but they invested more money into flats. California's Great America got a conversion. Canada's Wonderland got a flat. Carowinds got flats. Dorney got flats. Worlds of Fun got flats. King's Island got a coaster. Knott's got a flat. Valley Fair got a flat. King's Dominion put in some kiddie attractions. Like last year was the year of flat rides for Cedar Fair, and then King's Island there with Mystic Timbers making everyone jealous. So yeah, I think this is a more coaster heavy year than last year, but I feel like the spending was lopsided. They could have put in a little more at some of their other parks. I was surprised that Dorney did not receive anything other than just a new restaurant. I was hoping to see like a Frisbee or a Top Scan go there. Kings Island, I'm hoping to see something good there, like an S&S Scream and Swing or like something like Lumberjack would benefit the park quite well. But I might make a formal announcement of either the two additions at Kings Island, Michigan's Adventure, or any other breaking news, if I deem them worthy enough to make a video about. But if anyway, guys, I hope you guys have enjoyed the video. If you did, feel free to leave a like, comment, or subscription. I wish you guys have a great insert unit of time here, and as always, I wish you